Imagine Lily's world: bright lights, catchy music, and a phone always ready to capture the next dance craze. Lily wasn't just any kid, she was a star, a social media sensation. Her online name was Lily Loves to Dance, and boy, did she live up to it. Her videos were filled with sunshine smiles and energetic moves that made everyone want to get up and dance along. Lily's house, usually buzzing with friends and family, echoed with laughter and music as Lily practiced her dance routines. Colorful posters of her favorite pop stars decorated her bedroom walls. A special shelf held all her awards, trophies, and fan mail, a testament to her growing fame. Her videos weren't just about dancing, they were about spreading joy and kindness. Lily always ended her videos with a positive message, reminding her followers to be kind to one another and to believe in themselves. She truly cared about her fans, often replying to their comments and even hosting live Q&A sessions. But what made Lily so special wasn't just her talent, it was her genuine heart. She used her platform to support important causes, organizing fundraisers for animal shelters and speaking out against bullying. Lily was a role model, a shining example of how to use social media for good. Think about scrolling through your phone and suddenly seeing Lily's bright face pop up. It was like a burst of sunshine on a cloudy day. Her energy was infectious, her smile genuine, and her messages always uplifting. She made you believe that anything was possible, that even the smallest act of kindness could make a big difference. Lily's life seemed perfect. She had fame, friends, a loving family, and a whole world of opportunity at her fingertips. But behind the bright lights and catchy tunes, a dark secret lurked, ready to shatter her perfect world. Little did Lily know, the very platform that brought her fame would also be the source of her greatest fear. One day, the music stopped. Lily's vibrant online presence went silent. No new dance videos, no cheerful messages, just nothing. At first, her fans thought maybe she was on vacation or taking a break. But days turned into weeks, and still, no Lily. Her best friend, Maya, was the first to truly worry. They talked every single day, sharing secrets, dreams, and silly jokes. When Lily didn't respond to Maya's texts, Maya knew something was terribly wrong. Lily would never just disappear without saying anything. Lily's mom, Mrs. Davis, started to panic. Lily had promised to help her bake cookies for the school bake sale, something Lily was really excited about. Missing that was completely out of character. Mrs. Davis called all of Lily's friends, but no one had seen or heard from her. Then came the day of the big dance competition, the one Lily had been practicing for months. Her costume was laid out perfectly on her bed, sparkling and ready to go. But Lily wasn't there. The auditorium buzzed with excitement, but Lily's absence hung heavy in the air. Maya watched with tears in her eyes as Lily's name was called, only to be met with silence. That's when everyone knew, something terrible had happened. Lily, the girl who loved to dance, the girl who spread joy to millions, had vanished without a trace. The happy world of Lily Loves to Dance was now shrouded in mystery and fear. Where could she be? What could have happened? The police were called, and an investigation began. But the chilling truth was, Lily had disappeared from her own home, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a growing sense of dread. The once bright social media star had faded into the darkness, leaving her loved ones desperate for answers and praying for her safe return. The silence was deafening, a stark contrast to the lively music and cheerful laughter that once filled Lily's world. The police arrived at Lily's house, their faces grim. The yellow tape went up, turning Lily's colorful front yard into a crime scene. The house felt cold and empty, a stark contrast to the warmth and laughter that usually filled it. Detective Johnson, a kind-faced woman with years of experience, led the investigation. She walked through the house slowly, carefully observing every detail. The front door was locked, and the windows were all closed. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken glass, nothing to suggest someone had broken in. Inside, Lily's belongings were all in their place. Her backpack was by the door, ready for school. Her dance shoes were neatly lined up in the closet. Her favorite stuffed animal, a fluffy panda named Popcorn, sat on her bed. Everything looked normal, almost too normal. But something felt wrong. The air was heavy with a sense of unease. Detective Johnson noticed Lily's phone was still on her bedside table, charging. Her car keys were hanging on the hook by the back door. It was like Lily had simply vanished, leaving everything behind. The kitchen was clean, the dishes were done, and the refrigerator was stocked with food. Mrs. Davis had made Lily's favorite lasagna the night before, but it was still untouched in the fridge. It was clear Lily hadn't planned on going anywhere. As Detective Johnson walked through Lily's bedroom, she noticed a small, handwritten note on her desk. It read, "Don't forget to smile." It was a reminder Lily often wrote to herself, a way to stay positive. But today, the message felt haunting, a painful reminder of the bright spirit that was now missing. The house was eerily silent, the only sound the soft hum of the refrigerator. The absence of Lily's laughter and music was deafening. It was as if the house itself was holding its breath, waiting for Lily to return. But the longer she was gone, the more the chilling truth sank in: Lily hadn't just disappeared, she had been taken. And the empty house held no answers, only a growing sense of fear and desperation. The search for Lily had just begun, and the stakes were higher than ever. Detective Johnson knew that social media could be a powerful tool. She assigned a team to meticulously examine Lily's online activity, hoping to find any clues that might lead them to her. They scrolled through her posts, comments, and messages, looking for anything out of the ordinary. Most of Lily's interactions were positive and supportive, filled with hearts, smiley faces, and encouraging words. But as they dug deeper, they started to notice a few strange messages, hidden among the sea of positivity. One particular account caught their attention. It was a new account, with no profile picture and only a few followers. The username was simply SecretFan22. The messages from SecretFan22 were odd, a mix of admiration and something else, something darker. "You're so beautiful, Lily," one message read. "I watch all your videos. You're my everything." At first, it seemed like a harmless expression of admiration, but then the messages became more frequent and more intense. "Why don't you notice me, Lily?" SecretFan22 wrote in another message. "I'm always here for you. We belong together." The detectives felt a chill run down their spines. This wasn't just a fan, it was someone who was becoming obsessed with Lily. They also found a comment on one of Lily's recent posts that stood out. It was a response to a picture of Lily at a local park. The comment read, "I saw you there. You looked so pretty. I was watching you." It was signed with the same username, SecretFan22. Detective Johnson felt a knot form in her stomach. This SecretFan22 was more than just a harmless admirer, they were stalking Lily, watching her every move. Could this be the person who took her? The detectives worked tirelessly to track down the owner of the SecretFan22 account. They knew that this could be their best lead, their only hope of finding Lily before it was too late. The digital world, once a source of joy and connection for Lily, had now become a hunting ground, filled with danger and uncertainty. The search for SecretFan22 was on, and the clock was ticking. The detectives knew they had to find this person, and find them fast. Tracking down the owner of the SecretFan22 account wasn't easy. The person had used a fake email address and a virtual private network, VPN, to hide their location. But Detective Johnson's team was persistent. They worked with social media experts and cybercrime specialists to trace the account's Internet Protocol, IP, address. Finally, after hours of painstaking work, they got a break. The IP address led them to a small, unassuming house just a few blocks away from Lily's school. The house belonged to a teenager named Mark Thompson. Mark was a quiet, shy boy who kept to himself. He was in Lily's class, but they had never really spoken. He was often seen sitting alone at lunch, reading books and avoiding eye contact. No one would have suspected him of being capable of something like this. Detective Johnson and her partner, Detective Miller, went to Mark's house to question him. Mark's mother answered the door, her face etched with worry. She invited the detectives inside, and they found Mark sitting in his room, surrounded by computer screens and electronic gadgets. When Detective Johnson told Mark why they were there, his face turned pale. He denied knowing anything about Lily's disappearance and claimed he had never heard of the Secret Fan 22 account. But Detective Johnson could see the fear in his eyes. She showed Mark the messages from the account, and he started to tremble. He finally confessed that he was Secret Fan 22, but he insisted that he had nothing to do with Lily's disappearance. He said he was just a big fan of Lily and that he had only wanted to get her attention. "I just wanted her to notice me," Mark said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I never meant for anything bad to happen. I would never hurt Lily." Detective Johnson wasn't convinced. She knew that stalkers could be unpredictable, and that their obsession could quickly turn violent. She decided to bring Mark in for further questioning, hoping to uncover the truth about Lily's disappearance. Was Mark just an obsessed fan, or was he hiding a darker secret? The detectives were determined to find out. At the police station, Mark sat nervously in the interrogation room, fidgeting with his hands. Detective Johnson and Detective Miller took turns questioning him, trying to piece together the truth. "Mark, we know you were obsessed with Lily," Detective Johnson said gently. "We know you were watching her. Just tell us what happened. Where is she?" Mark insisted that he didn't know where Lily was. He explained that he had a crush on her and that he had created the Secret Fan 22 account to express his feelings. He admitted to following her online and even seeing her at the park, but he swore that he had never touched her. "I just wanted her to like me," Mark sobbed. "I never meant to scare her. I just wanted to be her friend." Detective Miller, a seasoned investigator, wasn't buying it. He pressed Mark harder, pointing out the inconsistencies in his story. "Mark, you were stalking Lily. You were sending her creepy messages. Don't you think that's a little more than just wanting to be her friend?" Mark hung his head in shame. He admitted that he might have gone too far, but he maintained his innocence. He claimed that he had stopped sending messages to Lily a few days before she disappeared because he realized it was making her uncomfortable. The detective spent hours questioning Mark, but he wouldn't budge. He stuck to his story, claiming that he had nothing to do with Lily's disappearance. Frustrated, Detective Johnson decided to release Mark, but she warned him that he was still a person of interest and that they would be watching him closely. As Mark left the police station, Detective Johnson couldn't shake the feeling that he was hiding something. She knew that he was obsessed with Lily, and she couldn't rule out the possibility that he was involved in her disappearance. But without any concrete evidence, there was nothing more they could do for now. Back at Lily's house, the search continued. The police scoured the property, looking for any clues that might lead them to Lily. They searched the backyard, the shed, and even the nearby woods. But they found nothing. The mystery of Lily's disappearance remained unsolved, and the chilling truth was that she could be anywhere. The detectives knew they had to keep digging, keep searching, and keep pushing until they found her, no matter what it took. Detective Johnson couldn't shake the feeling that they were missing something. They had searched Lily's house from top to bottom, but everything seemed normal. Yet, Lily was gone. She decided to do one more thorough search, focusing on the areas they might have overlooked. She returned to Lily's bedroom, the room where Lily spent most of her time. She examined the walls, the furniture, and even the floorboards, looking for any sign of a hidden passage or a secret compartment. As she ran her hand along the bookshelf, she noticed something odd. One of the shelves seemed to be slightly off-center. She pushed on it gently, and to her surprise, the entire bookshelf swung inward, revealing a hidden room behind it. The room was small and dark, lit only by a faint ray of sunlight filtering through a crack in the wall. It was filled with Lily's belongings, her dance costumes, her trophies, her stuffed animals, and her photo albums. It was like a secret sanctuary, a place where Lily could escape from the outside world. But something about the room felt unsettling. It was as if Lily had been hiding something, or as if someone had been hiding her things. Detective Johnson carefully examined the contents of the room, looking for any clues that might explain Lily's disappearance. She found a stack of diaries hidden beneath a pile of clothes. The diaries were filled with Lily's handwriting, detailing her thoughts, her dreams, and her fears. Detective Johnson picked up the first diary and began to read, hoping to uncover the truth about Lily's disappearance. What secrets did Lily's diaries hold? What was she hiding from the world? And could this hidden room hold the key to solving the mystery of her disappearance? Detective Johnson knew that she was getting closer to the truth, and she wouldn't stop until she found Lily, no matter what it took. The discovery of the hidden room had changed everything. It was no longer just a missing person case, it was a mystery with a dark and twisted secret waiting to be uncovered. Detective Johnson carefully opened the first diary. The pages were filled with Lily's neat handwriting, detailing her daily life, her dreams of becoming a famous dancer, and her close friendships. But as she read further, she began to notice a change in tone. In the weeks leading up to her disappearance, Lily's entries became more and more anxious. She wrote about feeling like she was being watched, about receiving strange messages online, and about a growing sense of fear that she couldn't explain. "I feel like someone is always watching me," Lily wrote in one entry. "I see them in the shadows, lurking in the corners of my eye. I don't know who it is, but they scare me." In another entry, she described receiving anonymous messages from someone who seemed to know everything about her. "They know where I go, what I do, and who I talk to," Lily wrote. "It's like they're inside my head." Detective Johnson's heart sank as she read Lily's words. It was clear that Lily had been living in fear for weeks, and that she had been hiding something from her friends and family. But why? What was she so afraid of? Then, she came across an entry that sent a chill down her spine. "I know who it is," Lily wrote. "It's someone I know, someone I trust. But I can't tell anyone, because I'm afraid of what they might do." Detective Johnson's mind raced. Who was Lily talking about? Who was this person she knew and trusted, but was also afraid of? Could this person be responsible for her disappearance? She flipped through the remaining pages of the diary, hoping to find more clues. But the last few entries were brief and cryptic, filled with vague references to a secret that she couldn't reveal. As Detective Johnson closed the diary, she knew that she had stumbled upon something big. Lily's diaries revealed a dark secret, a secret that had ultimately led to her disappearance. But what was the secret, and who was the person Lily was so afraid of? The answers were hidden within the pages of her diary, and Detective Johnson was determined to uncover them, no matter what it took. The search for Lily had just taken a dangerous turn, and the stakes were higher than ever. With Mark seemingly cleared, and the diary pointing towards someone Lily knew, Detective Johnson decided to revisit the neighborhood, hoping to uncover any overlooked details. She spoke to neighbors, delivery drivers, and even the mail carrier, asking if they had seen anything unusual in the days leading up to Lily's disappearance. Most of the interviews yielded nothing, but one conversation stood out. Mrs. Gable, an elderly woman who lived across the street from Lily, mentioned seeing a suspicious person lurking near Lily's house on the day she disappeared. "He was a young man, I think," Mrs. Gable said, squinting her eyes. "He was wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses, so I couldn't see his face. But he was pacing back and forth in front of Lily's house, like he was waiting for someone." Mrs. Gable couldn't provide any more details, but her description gave Detective Johnson a glimmer of hope. She decided to question Mr. Green, the Devisa's gardener, who had been working at Lily's house every week for years. Mr. Green was a quiet, unassuming man who kept to himself. He was always polite and hard-working, but he never seemed to engage in conversation. Detective Johnson had spoken to him briefly during the initial investigation, but he hadn't provided any useful information. This time, Detective Johnson decided to press him harder. She showed him a picture of Lily and asked if he had seen anyone suspicious near her house in the days leading up to her disappearance. At first, Mr. Green hesitated. He looked nervous and avoided eye contact. But after a few minutes of gentle prodding, he finally confessed that he had seen someone. "I saw a young man near the house," Mr. Green said, his voice barely above a whisper. "He was talking to Lily. They seemed to be arguing." Detective Johnson leaned forward, her heart pounding. "Did you recognize him, Mr. Green? Did you know who he was?" Mr. Green shook his head. "No, I didn't recognize him. But he seemed familiar, like I had seen him before." Detective Johnson knew that she was getting closer to the truth. Mr. Green's testimony confirmed that Lily had been arguing with someone before she disappeared, someone who was familiar to the gardener. But who was this mysterious person, and what were they arguing about? The pieces of the puzzle were starting to come together, but the picture was still far from complete. The search for Lily was far from over, and the clock was ticking. Detective Johnson reviewed all the evidence: Mark's obsessive messages, Lily's diary entries about being stalked, and Mr. Green's testimony about the argument. It was all starting to point in one direction. She decided to focus on Lily's personal relationships, starting with her ex-boyfriend, Tom. Tom was a popular athlete at Lily's school. They had dated for several months, but Lily had broken up with him a few weeks before her disappearance. According to Lily's friends, Tom hadn't taken the breakup well. He had been calling and texting her constantly, begging her to take him back. Detective Johnson pulled Tom in for questioning. At first, he denied having anything to do with Lily's disappearance. He claimed that he still cared about her, but that he had accepted their breakup. But Detective Johnson wasn't convinced. She knew that Tom was still in love with Lily, and that he might have been capable of doing something drastic to get her back. She decided to check security camera footage from businesses near Lily's house. After hours of reviewing footage, she finally found something. A security camera from a convenience store across the street from Lily's house had captured Tom walking near Lily's house on the day she disappeared. He was wearing a baseball cap and sunglasses, just like Mrs. Gable had described. Detective Johnson zoomed in on the footage, trying to get a better look at Tom's face. She noticed that he was carrying a large bag, the same size and shape as the bag that Lily used to carry her dance costumes. Detective Johnson felt a surge of adrenaline. She knew that she had found her prime suspect. She confronted Tom with the security camera footage, and he finally broke down. He confessed that he had been stalking Lily, that he couldn't accept their breakup, and that he had been planning to win her back. He admitted to arguing with Lily on the day she disappeared, but he insisted that he hadn't hurt her. "I just wanted to talk to her," Tom sobbed. "I just wanted her to give me another chance." But Detective Johnson didn't believe him. She knew that Tom was hiding something, and she was determined to find out the truth. The security camera footage had given her the leverage she needed, and she was ready to use it to get Tom to confess to everything. The search for Lily was about to come to an end, and the chilling truth was about to be revealed. Detective Johnson leaned closer to Tom, her voice firm but controlled. "Tom, we know you're not telling us everything. We know you were more than just talking to Lily. We know you did something to her." Tom's face crumpled, and tears streamed down his cheeks. He sobbed uncontrollably, burying his face in his hands. "I didn't mean to hurt her," he cried. "I just wanted her to be with me." Detective Johnson waited patiently for him to compose himself. "Tom, where is Lily? Is she safe?" Tom hesitated, his eyes darting around the room. She's at her house," he stammered. "At her house?" Detective Johnson raised an eyebrow. "But we searched her house, Tom. She's not there." Tom took a deep breath and finally confessed the truth. "I hid her," he said, his voice barely audible. "I hid her in the hidden room." Detective Johnson's heart leaped. The hidden room. She had almost forgotten about it. "Why, Tom? Why did you hide her?" I didn't want her to leave me, Tom sobbed. I knew she was going to move on, and I couldn't let that happen. I just wanted to keep her safe, to keep her with me. Detective Johnson shook her head in disbelief. Tom, you kidnapped her. You can't just hide someone because you don't want them to leave you. That's not love, Tom. That's obsession. Tom didn't respond. He just sat there, sobbing and shaking his head. Detective Johnson knew that she had finally broken him. She had gotten him to confess the truth, and now, she could finally bring Lily home. She immediately called for backup and ordered the officers to return to Lily's house. They rushed to the hidden room, their hearts pounding with anticipation. They carefully opened the bookshelf and stepped inside, their eyes scanning the darkness. And there she was. Lily was huddled in a corner, her eyes wide with fear. She was alive, but she was scared and traumatized. Detective Johnson rushed to her side, wrapping her in a warm embrace. "You're safe now, Lily," she whispered. "You're safe. We're going to take you home." The chilling truth had finally been revealed, and Lily was finally free. But the ordeal had left its mark, and the road to recovery would be long and difficult. But for now, all that mattered was that Lily was alive, and that she was finally going home. Lily was rushed to the hospital, where she was examined by doctors and comforted by her parents and Maya. She was exhausted, scared, and understandably shaken, but thankfully, she was physically unharmed. As Lily slowly began to recover, she recounted the terrifying events of the past few days. She explained that Tom had been increasingly possessive and controlling in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. He had been jealous of her friends, her social media followers, and even her dance career. On the day she disappeared, Tom had confronted her at her house, begging her to give him another chance. When she refused, he had become angry and violent. He had grabbed her and dragged her into the hidden room, locking her inside. Lily had been trapped in a hidden room for days, with no food, no water, and no way to contact the outside world. She had been terrified, fearing for her life and wondering if she would ever be rescued. The reunion with her family and friends was emotional and overwhelming. Tears of joy flowed freely as they embraced her tightly, relieved that she was finally safe. Maya stayed by Lily's side constantly, offering her unwavering support and companionship. As the days turned into weeks, Lily began the long and difficult process of healing. She attended therapy sessions to process her trauma and to learn how to cope with her anxiety and fear. She also received an outpouring of support from her social media followers, who sent her messages of love and encouragement. Lily decided to use her platform to raise awareness about stalking and online safety. She shared her story with her followers, warning them about the dangers of online relationships and the importance of seeking help if they ever felt threatened or unsafe. She became an advocate for victims of stalking and abuse, speaking out against violence and promoting healthy relationships. She turned her terrifying experience into a force for good, inspiring others to stand up for themselves and to seek help when they needed it. The chilling truth had changed Lily's life forever, but it had also given her a new purpose, to help others avoid the same fate. Tom was arrested and charged with kidnapping, stalking, and unlawful imprisonment. He faced a long prison sentence for his crimes, and his actions had devastating consequences for both Lily and himself. His dreams of a future with Lily were shattered, and he would spend years paying for his terrible choices. The community rallied around Lily, offering her support and encouragement. Her story became a symbol of hope and resilience, inspiring others to overcome their own challenges and to never give up on their dreams. Detective Johnson was hailed as a hero for her tireless efforts in solving the case and bringing Lily home. She received numerous awards and accolades for her dedication and commitment to justice. Lily slowly began to rebuild her life, focusing on her passions and her friendships. She returned to dancing, finding solace and joy in the movements and the music. She continued to use her social media platform to spread positivity and to advocate for important causes. She started a campaign called Safe Online, which provided resources and support for victims of cyberbullying and online harassment. She also worked with schools and community organizations to educate young people about the dangers of online predators and the importance of online safety. Lily's story became a powerful reminder of the importance of being careful online and of telling someone if you ever feel unsafe. It showed that even the most popular and successful people can be vulnerable to stalking and abuse, and that it's crucial to seek help if you're ever in danger. The chilling truth behind Lily's disappearance had been revealed, but from the darkness emerged a message of hope, resilience, and empowerment. Lily's story served as a reminder that even in the face of adversity, it's possible to find strength, to find healing, and to find a new purpose in life. And that, in the end, is the most powerful message of all. Lily continued to dance, continued to inspire, and continued to spread joy to the world, proving that even the darkest secrets can't extinguish the light of a true star. Lily's story reminds us that the internet, while full of amazing things, can also be a dangerous place. It's like a big playground where everyone can play, but some people might not follow the rules or have kind intentions. Just like you wouldn't talk to a stranger without your parents' permission, you need to be careful online too. Think about Lily's experience. She loved sharing her dances and making friends online, but someone used that to try and hurt her. That's why it's super important to keep your personal information private. Don't share your address, phone number, or school name with anyone you don't know and trust in real life. If you ever get a message or comment that makes you feel uncomfortable, scared, or confused, it's important to tell a trusted adult right away. That could be your parents, your teacher, a school counselor, or any adult you feel safe talking to. Remember, it's not your fault if someone is trying to hurt you online, and it's important to get help. It's also important to be kind and respectful to others online. Just like in real life, your words and actions can have a big impact on other people. Think before you post or comment, and ask yourself if what you're saying is kind, helpful, and true. If you see someone being cyberbullied or harassed online, don't just stand by and watch. Speak up and support them, or report the behavior to the website or social media platform. Together, we can create a safer and more positive online environment for everyone. Lily's story is a reminder that even though the internet can be a scary place, it can also be a place of connection, creativity, and kindness. By being careful, responsible, and respectful, we can all help make the internet a better place for everyone. Remember Lily's smile, her love for dance, and her courage to speak out. Let's all be like Lily, spread joy, be kind, and stay safe online. The internet can be amazing, as long as we are smart and safe. And so, the chilling truth behind the disappearance of Lily Loves to Dance was revealed. It was a story filled with suspense, fear, and ultimately, hope. It was a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light can always be found. But more importantly, it was a lesson. A lesson about the importance of being safe online, of protecting your personal information, and of speaking up if you ever feel threatened or uncomfortable. The internet can be a wonderful place, a place where you can connect with friends, learn new things, and express your creativity. But it can also be a place where people can hide behind fake profiles and try to hurt you. That's why it's so important to be aware of the dangers and to take steps to protect yourself. Always be careful about what you share online, and never give out your personal information to strangers. If someone you don't know asks you for your address, phone number, or school name, don't give it to them. Block them and tell a trusted adult right away. If you ever get a message or comment that makes you feel uncomfortable or scared, don't ignore it. Tell a trusted adult right away. They can help you figure out what to do and keep you safe. Remember, it's not your fault if someone is trying to hurt you online. You are not alone, and there are people who care about you and want to help. So, be like Lily. Be brave, be kind, and be smart. Use the internet to connect with others, to learn, and to create. But always remember to be safe, to protect yourself, and to speak up if you ever need help. The chilling truth behind Lily's disappearance taught us a valuable lesson, that online safety is everyone's responsibility. By being careful, responsible, and respectful, we can all help make the internet a better and safer place for everyone. And that's a lesson worth remembering. Stay safe, stay smart, and keep dancing. And always, always remember to tell someone if you feel unsafe. Your voice matters, and your safety is important.